Bystanders help a cop who's been shot. Cop gets shot, people are there, they help the cop. Interesting dynamics here. So let me first take you to the video. Here it is.
Hey, I need another tourniquet.
Hurry up, man. Come on. We got
What about this one? Hey, go help him. He's in there.
Hey, I got already. I'm not.
Hurry up.
He already cuffed. Already there, bro. Relax. I'm sleeping now, but he cuffed up.
We got an ambulance coming in.
Who else is in here?
Let's put up the picture of one of the individuals who helped save that cop after the cop was shot. This was after midnight when all of it went down, Friday, July 29th. Matthew Weekley was near the Franklin mini-mart when he heard a gunshot. Not too long after I heard the shot, he said, they brought the trooper out and he was just bleeding and we attended to him, Mr. Weekley said, all right? This was in Pennsylvania. Weekley and other Good Samaritans did not hesitate to help the state trooper, whose name is Jonnie Schooley, who had a gunshot wound to his leg. You see all of them helping the officer. The group of men used the shirts off of their own backs to help the trooper who was losing a lot of blood and could have bled out and died. Now, here's a point I want to make. 2 days ago, I did a story about multiple police officers who responded to the scene of a black male who was stabbed and inside of an elevator where the elevator could not close. When these officers responded and the man is bleeding out, the girlfriend who called the cops said, "Why are you letting him bleed out like that?" The response was, "Oh, we're not the paramedics. No, that's not our jobs. Paramedics are on the way." And they watched this man bleed and did nothing. Man goes to the hospital, he dies because of the inaction of these cops. They lacked humanity. Come to find out, the primary cop had first aid training, and his actions were completely against protocol of his department. Once again, the policy says one thing, but the culture says something else. And then in this story, we literally have the opposite. We have individuals who do not seem to have any special training in first aid, but they are taking clothing off of their own bodies in order to save the life of a police officer who has been shot. So what does this say? This says that even in the midst of cops showing a lack of humanity, especially toward black folk in America do not exhibit that same lack of humanity to others. That's what it says. There's more. Mr. Weekley said, and I quote, they said, "Man, he needed a shirt. So I took a shirt and made tourniquets for him, and people were just wrapping stuff around his leg, and he was directing us. He was like, man, wrap it around my leg. I need it tighter. So we just tightened it. The ambulance did not come for a while, okay? He's the Good Samaritan. Investigators said in the criminal complaint that the trooper, Mr. Schooley, and his partner, whose name is Palmer, both from the state police, Beaver Station, were on a routine patrol when they noticed a disturbance at the mini-mart. So here's your background. Let's put up the suspect. His name is Damian Bradford. Damian Bradford was threatening people with a pistol before the troopers intervened. So this is a real criminal issue, right? This is not somebody being outside of a park after hours. This is a real problem that requires law enforcement intervention. Investigators wrote that Bradford violently struggled with the troopers as they were trying to restrain him, and he shot Schooley. The documents say they were able to disarm Bradford, and then he tried to take Trooper Palmer's gun and taser. Bystanders helped Palmer restrain Bradford as well. Look at that. Isn't that something? Bradford is facing 13 charges, which include criminal attempted homicide, assault of a law enforcement officer, 2 counts of aggravated assault, 5 counts of recklessly endangering another person, disarming a law enforcement officer, resisting arrest, possession of a prohibited firearm, and firearms not to be carried without a license. Okay, I know some people are going to push back and say things like, well, they should not have helped the police. And that's your opinion. But you cannot neglect the reality that them helping the police was simply an expression of their own decency, of their own humanity, of their love for others. So I don't besmirch that at all. Ben, thoughts here?
Yeah, no, 100%. And this is where there's multiple layers to unpack here, right? Because ultimately, we need to be better than the systems around us. And we hope that the systems will be better than humanity. Unfortunately, in the United States, that's not really where we're at. And it just speaks to the fact that there are people who are calling for fundamental changes to policing around the United States. And it is because of a deep sense of humanity and caring about other people. And unfortunately, the culture within police departments is not the same. It is one of only treating police officers as humans. And unfortunately, that leads to some serious consequences. And that serious consequence is that police officers will often let people just bleed out and die. But it is good that people aren't letting these police officers bleed out and die. It is good that we have our humanity and we actually care for other people. That's fundamentally good. What we want is a system that takes that humanity and expands it to everybody, and that actually treats everybody with basic dignity, where we actually care for people. And anybody who calls themselves a police abolitionist or a prison abolitionist should 100% be in support of these people that potentially saved the life of this police officer, because that is what the goal is to save lives and to reduce harm. And so ultimately, we want our systems to behave with the same mentality that these people did, where even if you find somebody disagreeable in one way, shape, or form, you care for them because you want them to be able to live as a human being.
Very well said. And for those who may have a contrary attitude as it relates to what these great humanitarians did, these good Samaritans did, I want to remind you that in the pursuit to destroy evil, you cannot then become the evil you seek to eliminate. All right? Okay.